Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jason Salas, and this is the Hotspot. Yes, I was sick, and that's why my voice is a little bit deeper than normal. You'll never find. One of the upsides of being sick, I guess. But in more important news, yesterday, the Guam Homeowner Assistance Fund program's Cycle 4 pre-application period began. This is very, very important for our people. It affects a whole lot of people. So we are going to go out now to our friends from the Department of Administration. I have Bernie Guinness and Audrey Tapazna in the KUM News Zoom room, and we are going to break down all of the mechanics of this program, who qualifies again, what the application process is, and how it is going to help you out. So, Hafa to you both, Bernie and Audrey. So good to see you guys, and thank you for being on the show today.
Hafa, Jason. Thank you for having us again today, and we're very happy to present to you the new Cycle 4 of the Homeowners Assistance Fund Program.
Okay, so can you talk? Are there any major differences mechanically in terms of the application process, or even as far as the assistance itself that Cycle 4 offers that are different than the first three cycles?
Certainly, we started the program early back in February of this year, and we want to thank the governor, Lieutenant Governor, in ensuring that we expand this particular Cycle 4 to really include more individuals, more homeowners to avail themselves with financial resources, and who are still recovering from the pandemic. With that, we reached out to the U.S. Treasury and worked with our, Audrey and her team, Miss Audrey Tapazna and her team, put together and did the assessments and really evaluated what was given during Cycle 1 through 3, and noticed, there was a lot of things that we wanted to push out and further push out and further assist with to the homeowners. So first and foremost, there's two important things that is taking place under Cycle 4. First and foremost, which is exciting, is that initially it was $15,000 of the financial assistance that the homeowners were able to avail themselves. Now under Cycle 4, it is up to $26,550. So that's a $11,000 increase, right? So we're very happy for that. And then secondly, we have.
That may be, I'm just sorry, Audrey, if I could just get in, just to contextualize it and really drive home exactly how much money that is for a lot of people, even if they had a high-end mortgages, like around 2,000, some maybe between 1,800 to 2,000, that's going to allow people to actually be able to pay their bills for almost a year.
Correct.
That is substantial.
So and secondly, what I wanted to point out too, for Cycle 4, we've also got the increase for the HUD allowed for the increase of the 2022 income limit increase. And again, with that, certainly there will be more individuals, more homeowners that would qualify. So, Audrey can go ahead and talk about, again, the mechanics of it, like what the differences were between Cycle 1 to 3, and as opposed to this upcoming Cycle 4.
Yeah, Audrey, if you would please, and also maybe if you can touch on, if you would, what are the differences, if any, between if people have already applied, are they already in the system, or do they need to begin the process over again, and then what's the turnaround time?
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jason, again for having us and helping us get word out to homeowners that are still in need for this assistance. Taking a look at, especially from what Bernie was saying, on Cycle 1, 2, and 3 for the HAP program, we noticed that they were increasing numbers of homeowners who were maxed or exhausting their relief assistance, which was really at 15,000. And so that, of course, was concerning. So again, we did reach out to Treasury, and now that it's an additional 11,000, bringing the relief amount to 26,550. So for those homeowners who have maxed their relief amount and are still needing assistance with either their mortgage, utilities, or property tax, what they can do to avail for the additional relief amount is to submit a continuance form updated income documents, and of course their current statement. And these folks are familiar with our continuance process, so they know what that process entails. The continuance form is available on our website, and yeah, we're really excited that there is additional relief amount available, and that we do have, the program does have an updated household income limit. This household income limit amount really comes from, it's created by US HUD, and it's specifically for Guam's HAP program. So we're excited because it really opened up more opportunities for more homeowners who didn't qualify in cycle 1, 2, and 3, but may qualify now and can apply for cycle 4. I did want to also,
real quick, Audrey, what are some of those conditions that people did not previously qualify for? What are some of the red flags perhaps that got set off the first 3 times?
So one of them is where they did not meet, their income was exceeded the household income level. So of course they can come back. An example of that is previously in the other cycles, household of 1 was at 79,900. Now for cycle 4 and moving forward, family of 1 is at 90,000. So you see there's that big difference. For family of 4, it's now at 114,000 when previously it was at 102. So there's more, there's opportunities more if they've exceeded the income.
I see.
And yeah, and then the other was, of course, that they exhausted their relief amount of 15,000 and they still needed help. We did see homeowners who applied for the program, they were eligible, and really, they at their initial assistance, they maxed the 15,000 because maybe their mortgage that was in forbearance and the total amount they needed to catch up was 20,000. So right away, they've already exhausted. So those homeowners can come back to the and submit a continuance now to get additional relief assistance.
Okay,
so really, it varies.
Okay, thank you, Audrey. So Bernie, if I may now jump in here, not only has the amount of assistance dramatically increased, and the scope of Guamanians that will be qualified, as Audrey just said, like in terms of earning potential or in terms of earnings, that has increased too. So too has the amount and the timeline that people need to apply for this. So I mean, if you are in need and you really do need this money and this is really going to benefit you if you are a homeowner, you can't dilly-dally. You really got to get the application process started as early as possible. Is that correct?
Correct. So again, the application will be available online at our DOA website, doa.guam.gov. Certainly, we want to make sure that they take a look at the eligibility as a homeowner, that they have to be the primary homeowner. Those who are applying must be the primary resident, right? And they also have to ensure that they have experienced the financial hardship associated with COVID-19 after January 21st of 2020, and certainly meet the income limit criteria. Again, they can apply online. They can, I apologize. They can retrieve the application online, the PDF application, but the submission of the application, the actual hard copy, needs to be submitted with signature and everything for the pre-application at our office here in ITC in the 2nd floor, or they can certainly they can drop it off at the Guam Relief Center down at the Bank of Hawaii 3rd floor in Agana. Again, I know Audrey mentioned the relief program is for mortgage assistance, utility assistance, and then also for property assistance as well.
And I always go over this every time we have you wonderful ladies on and everything, but can you talk about the turnover time as far as, say, if I submitted my application packet, and everything was in good standing today, when could I expect to know if I was or was not accepted as a recipient of the program, and then when can I expect my first disbursement?
Okay, so how that process or the timeline looks like, Jason, is a homeowner, an applicant submits their pre-application. They will be notified if they pre-qualified within 5 to 7 business days. And then they will receive a pre-eligible letter with the instructions on the next steps. And that would be to submit now their supporting documents. Those supporting documents, we are asking homeowners to submit within 10 business days. And then, so from the time they submit a pre-application up until the time that payment is made, we're looking at a 3 to 4 week period. Of course, that's provided that all the documents are submitted on time. Homeowners can request for an extension. And these documents, of course, of every federally funded program, Jason, a lot of documentation sometimes is required, and it does depend on the status or situation of the homeowner. But if everything is provided within the average timeline, then it will be within 3 to 4 weeks that payment will be processed.
But again, there is a finite amount of money. So it's, I mean, as much as you wonderful people and your team back there, and you guys are doing so much good work for our community. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. But as much as you would like to help every single person in need, the money is a static amount. And so like, that's why it is imperative that if you are in need, you need to get your application in as soon as possible so you can make sure that, you know, the early bird truly does get the worm in this case.
Yes, that's correct. We are, at this time, we've already processed about 5 million of the Homeowners Assistance Fund funding. We do have about 6 million remaining to avail to eligible homeowners who apply and are eligible. So we do encourage them to apply. If they need assistance, to please submit their pre-application as soon as possible. We did start the application submission period as of yesterday. We don't have an end date at this time when it will be closed, but we will be assessing, taking a look at how many application pre-apps are submitted, how many are eligible, and then we will provide an ample time of notification should the program close its application. But for now, we are open, and yes, please submit your pre-apps applications as soon as you can.
Yes, please do. Now, Bernie, are you at liberty to say like how many people for the first 3 iterations of this program did actually submit applications and be qualified, and how many more are you anticipating with this 4th round?
Back in cycle 1 through 3, we've had about close to 1,500 applications that were submitted, of which, you know, we've approved over 940 applications. And then we've had folks that are currently active, continuances is about 400. But we are also looking at, you know, I think Ms. Audrey also explained that there are folks who have max, which is about 125 already individuals who have max, that we are looking to reach out to those individuals and just letting them know again to reapply should they qualify for cycle 4. And then we do anticipate like another 75 individuals probably by the end of this year who will be reaching their maximum capacity. But again, you know, there is funding still available. We started this back in February. The total funding for this was about, for direct services was over 11,000. I'm sorry, 11 million. So now we are currently we've got still in the bank, we've got about another 6 million to go. So certainly when you are emphasizing for those individuals or for those homeowners to turn in their applications, please do so, because, you know, it is, we will continue the program until as much as we can and as much as we can stretch out the funding and so, you know, get it in, and it's, they can certainly turn it into our office and then apply.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the lovely Bernie Guinness herself. And, you know, I grew up in the 80s, and if there's one incontrovertible truth that I know is you always trust a Guam lady wearing a jean jacket. That is the God's honest truth, like right there. That is a very, very trustworthy word. Bern, I got to tell you, Bern, I love that jean jacket, by the way. I'm very, very jealous.
Thank you.
You're taking me back. Okay, so, and now I want to make your job, obviously, like when you guys come on the show, you know, we try and cover as many bases as possible, but I want to make, you know, the work that lay ahead for your team as easy as possible. So can we talk about some of the most frequently asked questions, as they say, the FAQs that tend to bubble up like the most, so we can hopefully get them out there, so, you know, that the application process will be as smooth as possible. So what are the inquiries that tend to be the most common?
Okay, so the frequently asked questions for the TAP program, it's usually the income. What is those income guidelines? Does my mortgage have to be late, or utilities have to be late at the onset? And so of course the income guidelines is there. It is available on our website. So and that's a given. As far as you can qualify for the program, but in addition to meeting those qualifications, which Bernie mentioned earlier, which are you have to be a homeowner impacted by COVID, and then meeting the household income level. At the initial pre-qualification, your mortgage, utilities, it does have to be late at the initial time of application. And then of course, the goal is that the program provides that relief amount to get the homeowner current, whether it be with their mortgage, utilities, and property tax. And then if there's still relief funding remaining, then the homeowner still needs assistance, then we can start applying prospective monthly payments to help them continue paying for their current payments until the homeowner either match their relief amount or the homeowner no longer needs assistance. And then let me see. And of course they do, some of them may have questions about what does it mean to be financially impacted by COVID? And I believe we've talked about this on several interviews that, you know, a given is if they were furloughed or reduced hours from their work. But something that some homeowners may not realize, because it is either they were impacted indirectly or directly. And indirectly could be, an example is maybe my household was not affected. I did not lose hours or with my salary, but I had to take in maybe my adult children and their family because they lost their job and now they can no longer pay their rent. And so I had to take them in. Yeah, so then now my utilities have increased. I'm not able to support the additional 4 family members that has moved in. Or maybe I had to take care of a relative who had COVID. Or I had COVID and I was out of work for a month. And I've been struggling now to catch up on my mortgage payment. I'm still behind. So those are some examples of that we let homeowners know that maybe if your employment wasn't affected, but you had to take in people or things like that, that is eligible reason being impacted by COVID.
Okay, I do have
impacted by COVID.
I do have one final question because we're running out of time. But gosh, Audrey and Bernie, I wish I could have you here all afternoon because this is such good work. But again, we want to let you guys go back to serving the people. But does it have to be necessarily the homeowner that submits the application? Because say like if you have a grandchild and say like they're the head of household and yet the deed for the house is under Nana's name or grandma's name, does it have to be the grandmother who submits the application because she is the homeowner?
Yes. So
okay.
That's a very good question, Jason, because
you could be a caretaker, you could be head of household, and you know, like the semantics of it can get kind of weird, I assume.
Yeah, so the applicant does have to be the homeowner, but you know, they filled out all the pre-application and they're filling out the forms, whether it be at home and if the grandchild needs to, they could actually drop off the information, the documents, that's fine, but the applicant on the pre-application form or application form does have to be the homeowner.
Okay, I see. That just popped in my mind like the last moment, because I'm sure you guys are going to get some, you know, some kind of awkward edge cases like that, you know, because I mean, you know, that's Guam, you know, we cohabitate like that. So, all right, I got to let you guys go. So Audrey Tapaznia and Bernie Guinness down at the Department of Administration, doa.guam.gov is the website, my friends. Please make sure and go there, get all the information you need, and get those applications, because DOA is working really, really hard to help you out if you are, in fact, in need. And cycle 4 of this program has been greatly expanded, so we hope you do take advantage of it. Bernie and Audrey, thank you very much, and Sijus Masi, for your continued work for our community.
Thank you.
You're both absolutely amazing. All right, we will be back
from Kaha on their 55th anniversary when the hotspot continues.